Hey, and welcome to another Chef live stream. I'm Dan. I'm the infrared person and possibly now the inspect person on our team. And Kai is our Habitat resident learner slash expert. Hey, I mean, if you're the best person in the room that knows Habitat, you're definitely the expert in this room.
Hey, there you
I
go.
certainly don't know enough Habitat. And we can fix that today by going over some more Habitat and what the Habitat supervisor is, which is pretty cool. Oh, brilliant. Thank you very much, QBRD. Yeah, there's some love going on in the chat there. That is,
Yay.
did not
Oh,
translate.
that did not that didn't
It's
translate
going to get
well.
it translated well on the right side. No, it won't translate.
Not happening.
I tried twice, but it's fine. Thank you very much for the big love.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so we are again streaming. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday around this time. So it's usually 2 p.m. British time or BST. And
Yep,
what time is it? It's 9 a.m. Eastern, isn't
it's
it?
9 a.m. Yep.
Usually between 9 a.m. and 9 a.m. Basically, when we've got our stuff together, we'll chill out and stuff started, which is nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, today we're going to go over the Habitat Supervisor, which is really cool, and some other stuff. However, before we get stuck in, we have got some housekeeping to do. If you're not following us on Twitter already, we are at Chef. There is 1,000 tweets at our current sort of campaign, which is kind of interesting, which is our 10-year anniversary for ChefConf. So hashtag. I will find the hashtag before the end of the day, before the stream. But ChefConf has been going 10 years now, so we're trying to dredge up really cool old memories. So if you've got any really cool old memories, I've already seen my old favorite memory, which is Pete Cheslock as a cardboard cutout because he couldn't make Chef Comp one year, so someone printed out a version of Pete.
Oh,
And,
that's cool.
and he just got carried around Austin. I think he may have come to Seattle as well. Pete Flatlock. It was beautiful.
Oh, I can't wait till we're back in person for Chef Conf.
It
That's
was
gonna be
really
so awesome.
it would be weird, honestly. Like meeting up with a bunch of people and doing it this weekend for a wedding, and I'm a bit like, sorry, what? We can meet again, we can hug again, we can. It's all really weird. I
Oh
think it's almost
goodness.
been like 18 months, almost 2 years now, not
Right.
doing anything normal. So it's going to be, I think, a weird adjusting period, but for me anyway, it's like you said, can't wait.
Yeah.
And this year's online ChefConf, as you may have guessed, we're not in person this year. Chef.io/ChefConf will get you a free ticket to the um, three-day event.
Yeah.
The September the 7th and September the 9th. We are doing ChefConf. We pre-recorded, I think, now most of the videos, and we've got a few this afternoon to record. So if you also want to view those, jump on one of our music groups, and we've scheduled them all across there. And Kaya is recording you're recording yours tomorrow
Yep.
morning, aren't you?
Tomorrow morning, 10:45. Well, yeah, 10:45, 11 Eastern
Cool.
Standard Time. So
Super.
it's gonna be cool.
Oh my god, it's 7:30 in the morning QRBD.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Well,
that's
thanks for tuning in,
yeah.
QBRD.
Oh,
Like
a
that's
massive time.
that's love right there.
Well, I think we'll be moving this slot slightly later, probably an hour later, depending on scheduling and that kind of stuff internally. Um, so, because we no longer have a person at the moment in India, so we're trying to bring our schedule. We're sort of having a nice middle of the day scheduling, but
Yes.
actually, it's first thing in the morning for you, and I've got only like 3 hours to work, so we can play with that scheduling now.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So we
we
can,
got a little bit more overlap.
yeah, we've got a nice bit of nice bit of scheduling leeway, which is kind of cool. If you are not in the chef community Slack and you want to come and take the mickey out of me or give Kaya some love, community-slack.chef.io, and we're in Devrel room, we're probably in the general room. I'm in, I don't know, the sous chef room because I keep
Yep.
rewriting cookbooks when I'm bored.
Room,
Um,
all the
and
rooms.
Is that still the Cook Style webinar? Yeah, there's some. We've been going through lots of webinars recently as well. So if you there's some interesting content that we may have mentioned on here. If you go to chef.io/webinars, and there's a bunch of on-demand webinars, and you'll see our upcoming webinars up on there as well. I can't remember off the top of my head. I will find out now. In fact. I think we've got a test kitchen webinar coming up. Well, so that.
Oh, sweet.
And we've got Chef Automate, and we've also got policy file improvements, which is really, really cool.
Oh, awesome.
Who's
Awesome possum.
who's doing this one? Oh, it's Tim. Tim's in the policy file improvements, which is cool. So policy files, if you don't know them, are the replacement of Burke's file and the Chef file. Oh my gosh. A way of doing dependency management for Chef cookbooks. Policy files, the current existing and nice, really, really nice way of doing it. And we've made a bunch of improvements in the existing Chef workstation. So if you're not using Chef workstation and you're still using DK, pop on over because that workstation is significantly better and I have a bunch of nice, really, really nice tools there.
Yes.
I think I've probably exhausted all of the things everyone maybe? Fingers crossed. I'm hoping so.
Yep. I think you got. I can't think you covered it all. I think you covered it all.
I've probably covered everything there.
Yeah.
I'm also just need more coffee, so it's fine.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, yes. Are you ready to jump in?
Yeah, let me just share the screen and I'll drop myself off the side. Oh, it actually worked first time. Perfect.
Hey, awesome. So today, hold on, let me pause it real quick because let me just talk about what we're gonna go over today at least. So yeah, so on Tuesday, if you all tuned in, we started going over the Habitat Supervisor, but the demo fell flat. So we're gonna do a do-over today because now I've got like a pre-recorded demo. And so what I'm gonna do is like there's no audio in the demo. I'm gonna just kind of go over what I'm doing in the demo so it can make it more helpful and more useful for people who are actually, getting started and don't have to worry about watching me stumble through. Today we're gonna go over the Habitat Supervisor. For those who don't know, Habitat Supervisor is a process manager with two primary responsibilities. First, it starts and monitors child services as defined by the plan that it's running. Second, it receives and executes information from the builder and other supervisors within its network, or the supervisor ring is actually what it's called. And this allows engineers to reconfigure running services to the application lifecycle hooks if their configurations have changed. And you can also update any runtime configs and detect and connect app services using built-in topologies. You can also roll out changes using built-in deployment strategies as well. Now, topologies, they're basically the docs have them described as an intended relationship between peers and a service group. Two topologies that ship with Chef Habitat by default are standalone and leader follower. Um, so
So that just means that the way they interact, isn't it? So
yep,
with leader follower, they figure out who the leader is, and then that one supervisor sort of tells everyone else when to go and
what to
when
do
to stop.
exactly. Yep. So let's jump in. Let's just jump into the demo.
Sure.
The key takeaway here.
I will get there eventually. I'm just going to click all the buttons one at a time. Here we go. All good to go.
Let's see. Okay. Okay, so basically, first, oops. All right, here we go. Start from here. So first, what we're doing is we are going to allow Builder to access our sample app in GitHub, so it could pull down new builds. So what I'm doing here is creating a package in my origin called Sample Node App. And I'm going to connect my plan file. Here we go. Yep, connected my plan file. So here I've already configured GitHub on, or yeah, GitHub's access to my builder's access to my GitHub. So I'm just here connecting my sample node app repository.
There's a couple of actually really cool options there, which is like once you've published the package up to the up to builder. It's not where does it publish? Where does it publish the final artifact? It's up in builder.
I'm sorry, what was your question? I didn't hear that.
When it's finished building the artifact, where does it push that artifact?
Oh, when it finished.
Oh,
When it
in the
finishes.
depot. Ends up in the depot, isn't it? Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. And I think when you were still configuring that a head ago, you could also, when it's pushing to depot, you can also configure it to push to other sources, a bit like Docker Hub as well.
Right.
It's really
Right.
cool.
So here, I've actually built the latest version of my sample app, and actually, um, I'm waiting for all the build to happen. I'm gonna this piece so that we can see what's going on in the back end and kind of see how everything is running. Okay, here we go. Look. So this is all of my packages being built. Here you can basically just see like everything, all of the packages that are being built in the process. And then what we're going to do is oops, hold on.
So it's
Then our
pulling
next
the
step is going
corn.
to be
Oh, sorry. It's pulling corn and everything, isn't it? So, and then all the
yeah.
dependencies, there'll be all the
So yeah,
dependencies
I'm
that are
reading
not like if they're not built locally
all
right
all
now,
of the
they'll be pulled in from the pulled in from Habitat as like
Yep.
pre-built packages for us and stuff like that.
Right. This is like all of our or yeah, all of our logs as we built it out. And I'm inspecting all of this at this point, so I can kind of familiarize myself with what exactly is happening. So there's my first version. And I'm promoting that to stable. So now we're moving to the working environment, and we can see the magic happen in action from the command line. So we've already entered into the studio. We run hab studio enter in order to get into the studio. Then I ran hab sub status to just kind of see what is running, and there's currently nothing running. So the next step is to start our service. Okay, and we're going to start our service using the at once update strategy, so that way we can see our app pull down changes in real time.
Yeah, it's kind of the almost the YOLO approach there. I guess is the one. Just do it. Just get it out there now.
Right. Yep.
I don't care which order you got. If you've got one supervisor and not a full ring of like let's say like 100 or 10, doesn't really matter how many. Yes, that's a great question. What are the other strategies?
That is a great question. Let me bring up the other strategies. Let me bring up the docs.
I think it's rolling update. You might remember.
Um, hold on. Habitat guys. View docs. So why don't we pause this while we go through? Can you pause it while we go through deployment strategies?
You might want to pause your video.
For some reason,
We lost control of the video.
you hear my dogs barking in the back?
No, I can't. Your mic is muted.
Okay. Oh, okay. Good. All right. So there's none. The none strategy means the package will not be automated, or excuse me, will not be automatically updated when a new version is available. There's a rolling strategy, and that means when the strategy requires supervisors to update to a newer version of the package one at a time in their service group. So basically, an update leader is elected, which all the supervisors within a service group will update around. And then there's this at once strategy, which we're using. Oh wait, is it still going or is it
Yeah, we're still going.
paused? Let me pause it. And there's an at once strategy is what we are using. And that strategy does no peer coordination with other supervisors. It merely just updates the underlying chef habitat package whenever it detects a new version has either been published to the depot or installed to the local chef habitat package cache.
Cool.
Cool. So let me go back to where I was. I think this is it. And let's play again. So the command here is have service load and then my origin and my actual package, which is sample node app, and then dash dash strategy, and then at once. We'll let
So
that run.
I can just about hear my child cry. You might be able to hear my kid crying in the background.
All good. Kids be crying. That's what they do. Okay. So back in the builder UI, wait, hold on. Oh, we're actually gonna let this run all the way through. And then let's see what happens when we get to the backer or let's go back to the builder UI and create the new build once this is done, doing all the things. Wait, that's not right. Okay. Okay. So back in the builder UI, we create a new build by clicking build latest version again. And then when it finishes, we're going to select promote to stable. Gonna let that build run. And And then after that, we're going to go back to our terminal and see what happens, see what the supervisor does. Because basically, what we're doing here is we're we're creating a new version in Builder, and we're going to watch some magic happen. So we're built. Oh no, it's not completed yet. Yep, okay. Promote it to stable and go back to the command line. And now we're going to watch our local app update with the new version. We're going to pull down the global update. We're going to see that updates are running applications with any newly promoted packages. And basically, that's it in a nutshell. Like, well, there's actually a lot more the supervisor does, and we'll go into that in future videos. But with this video, I wanted to demonstrate how the supervisor allows all of our packages to update in real time
It's pretty cool.
while running. That's pretty cool.
It hardly even took any time to roll out, really.
Right.
It's pretty nice.
Now, we are using a very small application. I wonder if that does change like the larger application. What do you think, Dan? Like if you had to hypothesize, because I've never used it on a larger application.
I mean, you'll probably be limited to what the bigger the app is. Obviously, the slower it'll take to roll out because you've got to download those bits. But
Right.
that, like, if you're polling quickly enough, so if you've got lots of small apps or lots of apps that are like 50 meg big, 100 meg big, whatever, and that's the idea behind Habitat is to make as small an app as possible, because all the libraries are not dynamically linked anymore. They're all statically linked, so you get all of your libraries because they are what they are. You haven't got like 15 versions of, I don't know, Node in a box. You just have one version of Node or one version of JavaScript in a box to run it. So it should be as small as possible. And with the Habitat archives, if you export them as Docker as well, they're from scratch. So they've got no other things on that box. There's no Bash, for example, isn't even on that. So there's sort of tiny little thing. So I mean, it will be slower the bigger the images or the bigger the heart file is, but yeah, you're not limited by what it doesn't. You're limited by the size of the package is what I'm going to try and say eventually.
Okay.
Rather than like how slow the polling is, because the polling is going to be super cases, which is quite nice.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, because those core packages are the core packages regardless. Like, regardless of how large the application is, the packages that it's building are what they are.
Yeah, and those core packages will be built into your archive. So you'll have that archive to distribute around, which is pretty sweet. And all those little, all those libraries, those core packages that we install, they should be tiny. They're like, if you think about, you probably haven't come across Arch Linux, but basically you recompile everything from scratch every single time. And you can see a little bit of similarity between Arch Linux and Habitat in a certain way. We don't pull from upstream anywhere. There's no other repository.
Right.
We literally like compile from scratch. Or actually, well, we're compiling from scratch and then uploading to the depot, which is where we keep all our packages, which is cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
So but also if you find that you're downloading lots of stuff from the internet on a regular basis, and you've got really, really big artifact files, you can always have a local depot, an offline one that's sort of local to wherever your thing is. So let's say you're running in AWS and you didn't want to have a huge amount of bills for pulling down loads and loads of artifacts on a regular basis. There's network transfer costs. So surprising, I guess, is the best way of doing it. They're not very well defined most of the time, and it can be pretty surprising when they actually pay you. You might want an internal depot to have all your artifacts stored in there. So when you pull them, it pulls sort of locally within PC, and that kind of goes for anything. So if you're running in a air gapped environment, you can just
Hmm.
have your depot in there. And that works pretty well. It just means that you pull packages super quick. You're
Yeah.
looking to buy sort of the local local network rather than like the internet network there as well. So if I was running my home lab, I would probably be lazy enough to just rely on the depot up there. But if I wanted a quicker home lab and my home lab wasn't just a bunch of like Raspberry Pis, which it is, then I would probably have a depot internally because my internet isn't gigs and gigs big. And it will
Okay.
build which is that'd be interesting. But yeah,
Awesome.
it's cool.
Yeah. So basically, long story short, Habitat like makes app deployment magic. I mean, we'll continue to go down this road and um, dive into the different aspects of Habitat as we continue these streams, and we'll learn together. I think that's
Yeah,
pretty.
it's really interesting stuff. That I really like the forcing it to update kind of in the background.
Yeah.
So we
Right.
run
So that
using
means
it.
your app is running even in production, like when things update.
I wonder if I could get. I wonder if we could try and get Habitat running on my Pis. We can see if that updates in the background there. You can see there's
Oh,
like.
on a Raspberry Pi. On a Raspberry.
So I've got 3 upstairs. You see, maybe we could do that. Maybe.
Yeah. That
Although
would
at
be
this
a
point,
good experiment.
I mean, at this point, it's already running Kubernetes anyway. So like, let's just
Yeah.
stress it a bit more. It's all fine. Or maybe actually
Right.
stress it less
Right.
because
The
Kubernetes
next
is
thing you know, it just blows up, and you're like, "Wait, what happened?"
just maybe we could try that at some point. And we
Yeah,
can
that
see
would be cool.
the alternative upgrade strategies there, which are the rolling and the so it's at once rolling and none, which is just do it, get out of the way, which is cool.
If
Right.
anybody has any ideas, we would love to, hear any ideas of, things that people want to learn about on these streams. So, because we just kind of come up with things. So, if anybody has any things that they want to specifically touch on, we'd love to kind of like work around that.
But yeah, feel free to drop those in the chat anywhere or the community Slack
Community
in the
Slack.
general room. And we'll, if you've got any questions about like, oh, there's a very specific weird bit of chef info I want to learn about, like how do I move from works files to policy files? That's in the back of my head that I'm going to do at some point. Is there a specific question you've got on habitats? We will be able to, if you give us some sort of heads up, we'll be able to do a demo on that as well. And that's what
Yes.
so bit of a heads up is always really cool, especially with Habitat because we're both learning from scratch at this point, which is really nice. I think the last time I used this from scratch, I did use it like twice, about 3 years ago, but it's been a while. So basically, like pretend like we knew. Oh, there we go. And that for the HA database cluster and failover. It's a pretty nice idea, I think. Yeah.
Yep. I think that's a great idea too. I just wrote that down. Um, what is a supervisor ring? B Bimo Puri 6203 asks, what is a supervisor ring and how is the leader is selected in the leader follower topology? Great question. Let's talk about it. Let's give me a second. Let's talk about
So
what
I
it's
can add to the supervisor ring whilst you
like a
go back
network.
to the leader file to topology stuff. So the supervisor ring is a bunch of supervisors talking to each other, really. So the ring is the way they talk to each other. They have a minimum number of connections to each other, hence why it's called a ring, rather than just a mesh, I would probably call it. And they work on if I remember rightly, they work on a whisper. So they'll tell the next one to go do what they need to go do, which reduces traffic, which is always nice. And the leader.
So the lead. So from the docs, it looks like the leader I'm reading here. Defining a leader and follow behaviors. It looks like all you have to do is define the leader. So, in a configuration template with conditional logic, you can make an application behave differently, but whether it's a leader or a follower. So basically, you can set a service leader as the leader based on your configuration files, what it looks like in the from the documentation.
That's cool.
Yeah, just a configuration. As with most things in Chef, seems to be just the configuration.
Yeah. We might have a better answer for that one, or we might even have a demo for that one at some point. And what happens if the leader fails? There's a leader re-election at that point, I believe. I'm going to say believe. I'm pretty sure.
That's a good
There's a leader
question. Now
re-election.
that is something that I'm gonna have to research. Do you know? Do you know? Because if we don't, I will have to research that and get back to.
I'm 90% sure there's a leader re-election. Or you can also prove that when we're doing the high availability deep database cluster. We can watch the leader failover and see what they use. So it'll be a bit like etcd or console. It will be leader re-elections. But we should be able to prove that at some point in either a pre-recorded demo or a live demo at some point, and that'll be really interesting to see.
Yeah, that would
See
be.
that, see that in action.
So BM or BMOPORI 6203 asks, is it each supervisor a node in the re-election? On what basis will a leader be elected? These are all great questions.
Oh, you're stressing our knowledge now. You're stressing our knowledge.
We really are. Look, all of the great questions. I'm going to copy them down, and if you want to hit me up to get like an answer, or I can like talk about. I can get research these answers and get back to you on a following live. But
Yeah, so we're
yeah,
streaming next
I've got a
Tuesday.
depth of knowledge that does not extend to there yet.
Not yet. No, I mean this is the cool thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
so I think we stream next Tuesday and next Thursday.
yeah,
So
copying all of these down though
we can
to
probably continue this conversation
absolutely.
with a couple of days of bit more research, and we might even have a super simple. Maybe I just use the Node demo for now because we then won't have to worry about threading the databases because I want to have.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Tune in next week for the answers to your questions.
That's great. We'll do some research on this one, and maybe we'll even have a demo if we're feeling adventurous enough, which would be really cool actually if we can get a demo together of some of the failover stuff, because there's some really like that behaviour when you're trying to do HA is just lovely.
Yeah,
and that's where Habitat shines and kind of takes Chef to the next level is you can use Chef and Habitat together, which we'll do a demo on some point in probably the next month or so. We're probably going to do a sort of shared live demo at some point with myself and Kyle using Habitat and Chef together, Chef Info together.
yes, and also, yep, and then actually in the next Habitat one we do, I want to talk about Inspect as well, because like Habitat and Inspect they integrate as well, and you can do some compliance scanning.
Ooh, that should be quite nice.
That would be cool, right?
In fact, I've actually got Chef managing my Raspberry Pis anyway, and as of 17.3, there's the client has a built-in resource for all the Habitat resources, and Kaya's laptop battery has just died. She gone? Yeah, it's fine. So we'll be back next week, and I'm probably going to end it there as we have a battery. Cool. Thanks very much for joining in, everybody. And super, super awesome. Thank you to everybody who asked questions. We love the audience interaction. It always feels better than talking straight to an empty screen or empty whiteboard behind me. Cool. Thanks very much.